What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the You're Still Here podcast here at the end of August. We're here at the end of August. As long as I upload this by the end of August, then it will be fine. But I didn't know there was 31 days in August. August is one of those days. Papa Giorgio just had to tell me right before we recorded.
Yeah, because I had to look it up.
Yeah. So I don't know what to tell you. There's a couple months in there that I owe. It used to be. Now I know June 30. But that was one I always used to think there was a 31st because there's a July 31st. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? It's one of those things that just flies under the radar. And you're like, don't worry, I'll figure it out one of these years. And it keeps going on and on. But he just told me it's the end of August. That's all you need to know. We're at the end of the long line. You're at Six Flags or you're at NBC Universal on Halloween Horror Nights, one of my favorite places to go, a place that you probably would never go with me. And we've seen all those squiggles. You ever been on those lines where you think, like, oh no, I see the front there, but then it wraps you all the way around the back?
Yeah,
well,
okay.
we can see September. And it goes September rain. What is that? Isn't that the Guns N' Roses? September
It's
rain?
November rain.
Oh,
Couple of months off.
Oh my God. Oh my. That's as real as it gets. That's embarrassing. If all of our friends here, I would be buried.
Man.
But that's the name of the episode. That's the beautiful thing. If you're going to say something stupid and it's short and catchy, it will be the name of this podcast. And about September rain. Welcome back, all of you. I want to let you guys know, while this still flies under the radar, saw some of you commenting last week that, you know, you originally found me from betting and now you're here to hang out. You said it's a great place to hang out. That means a lot to me. I don't know, just
hang on out with this.
I love that stuff because that's what the feel is here. I really want this podcast to feel like when I was a kid, you guys obviously know I love horror movies, didn't come out of nowhere. I would watch these countdown shows on channels where it would cut to a movie, but before it went back to the movie, it cut to like Elvira or another host of a show where they'd be in like a studio. They would give you little tidbits about the movie, maybe even another little scare here and there, kind of Crypt Keeper-esque.
They should bring back Elvira.
I'll be seeing you very soon for our weekly session.
Of all the things that they remake,
Yeah,
they're not
they don't
going
bring
to
her
throw a
back?
big tit. Well, you know why? It's because tits are
yeah.
out. We need a big-assed Elvira. Elvira
Okay.
had massive tits, and since tits are out, it's been ass ever since the birth of Instagram. I'm waiting. Every year we're waiting. Is it going to be? No, it's ass after ass after. It's a mountain of ass.
Not my ass, that's for sure.
And
Jesus.
we still have some to clear. But really, I do appreciate that. And don't worry, because September rain, which means NFL is back. It's September. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Now, for me, that's October, but September is close enough. October will be here like that. And especially for those of you who do know me from those videos, October is really when I got to start cranking them out. I enjoy September because I only have to focus on NFL videos, which will be back starting next week. And I know you guys will be looking forward to that. We're going to talk a little bit about, why don't we get right to that? So that guy, and probably a few other of you, you know me from the sports betting videos. And we've run into a silly issue. I don't know if you ever know, you know, sometimes you got to send in your document, your verification documents. It doesn't even have to just be DraftKings. It could be something completely, maybe American Airlines needs you to send in some sort of stuff. But we had to send in our IDs to like verify our accounts. Me and two of my other friends, because we all logged in from the same Wi-Fi, and so whatever. They needed to make sure that weren't just one person. So we sent pictures of our IDs, and then I was just wondering, who's looking at this?
Well, you don't just send your ID, right? You have to put your big mug holding up the picture, your ID.
Yes, you don't send a picture of your ID. You have to take a selfie. It says that. The instructions from an actual company include the word selfie in them. You have to take a selfie of your ID like this. And somebody looks at them. And I know the first thought you're going to say is, oh, it's all just machine. No, it's not just a machine, because that's obviously very important. You
Boy,
need
this guy
somebody
aged like dog shit.
Yeah, you need someone to verify. And I want to know what they're thinking, because I know myself. If it's me and I'm looking at that pictures, I'm looking at your apartment. Where is this guy? This
Yep.
guy's betting?
Oh, yeah, I got to check the background.
Yeah, we need to.
I want to see what you got poking around. You better take a tight selfie.
Yeah, you better hope there's no background. And I was thinking, who's this person? I feel like they're looking at that screen.
Oh,
What the fuck is this
I'd
guy
be
trying
taking
to
my
do?
sweet time. I'd be playing picture with that thing. Writing
Yeah.
down how many things I could find.
And that's kind of what I was feeling like when you send in your documents for these things. You think it's just some no big deal. They just want to verify. No, it's a creep.
Hey, Bill, get over here. Look at the noggin on this guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God, that big nose Charles in charge
Oh
guy
my
is
God.
back. He's doing it again. And that's what I would do. We do that.
Oh, yeah.
We do pull up.
I would
people.
like a job like that.
We use that company.
Yeah. I remember that one.
Not. It sounds like PIM eyes, PIM eyes, not Chat GPT. That takes a face and finds every picture everywhere on the internet.
Wow.
It's facial recognition technology, and we were looking for lookalikes for some of my friends. And I feel like that's the kind of person who's going to be. You ever hear, and this is a sick way to do this, but you ever hear how they say like pedophiles look for jobs that put them in contact with younger people? Well, I think creeps or freaks, not creeps, but freaks want to be looking at people's IDs and whatnot. And who knows? Who knows? Like, how terrorist organizations, this thing just got real dark. How they send people to flight school and learn all that stuff. Well,
take it easy, bring it back.
Maybe identity thefts or identity thieves. They send their little minions to just go get jobs verifying IDs on DraftKings and FanDuel, and then they send that info back to the company. Who knows? Maybe that's a little.
It's a good
conspiratorial
scam.
Tom. Maybe we'll put that one on TikTok.
It's a good scam.
Unsolved mysteries music. No. We got a better scam that we found on TikTok. And the interesting thing about TikTok, when you don't go on TikTok for a while, like we said you can get lost in the algorithm and you're lost in another dimension, just like in Stranger Things or just like in Insidious, and you're not going to get back. However, when you give TikTok the cold shoulder, it's like a hot girl. It starts to actually it starts to give you a little more feedback.
Come on, we get some cool stuff on here. Yeah. Come back.
Just like if you don't order on Uber Eats. I a couple months ago, I gave you that scam where you put some stuff in your cart and leave it there, and then they're going to start mailing you 40% off promotions. Well, when you give TikTok the cold shoulder for a while, they'll actually start showing you some good. They're not showing you those NPCs and all the garbage we were getting last time. I came across a great scam. I guess we're going to call it the scam of the week.
It's a scam.
That's a scam.
What a scam that was.
So this was all a scam, huh?
I always get a little bit upset when I'm not the originator of a scam that deals with meeting women and talking to women, because I have a whole plethora of them. The leave the gym at a time you don't even have to leave just to open the door from the girl and get the first. I have a whole bunch.
First, I'd have to go to a goddamn gym. That one's out. Find the new one.
A cold night.
You got one for the deli? Meeting someone at the deli?
To talk to a girl at a deli scam?
You getting the Broadway? What are you getting?
So this one was if you see a group of girls at the bar.
Walk up to a group of like really fit birds and he'll go, girls, there's a girl in this bar that I find really attractive. I don't know what to say to her. Like, what would you say to a girl that you think is really attractive? Then they'll like give you loads of advice.
I love this
Then walks off, does a circle, walks straight back and just stands to the girl next to her and says exactly what
Yes!
How good is that?
That is unreal.
How good is that? Apparently all the girls find it fucking hilarious.
Yeah, of course.
One of my guys versus girls think, oh, you think it's going to be easy? I can take a woman's Tinder and I can pick up every single guy and we'll be hanging out by the end of the week. A girl has no clue how to get a girl to hang out. I can give her my phone and say, oh yeah, make her hang out. Will never happen. That's one of my great defenses with the old guy. Do you know how easy?
I would like to see this happen, actually.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because it's just, it makes me feel a little uneasy.
Imagine they just do it with ease.
Guys are fucking, it's all the same thing.
I'd be so upset they just start picking girls left and right.
What you mean? Oh, you think the
using
girls
your
will pick
Tinder?
up girls? No, because they can't give advice. Or forget about Tinder, online dating, whatever. A girl you're talking to, if you're nervous or something, hand the phone to a girl and watch her struggle with the girl. I won't struggle with the guy. It's very fucking simple.
Yeah.
You be pretty direct. Offer something like why don't we go to so-and-so place, something with like, if the guy likes sports, they know there's big TVs on there, something like that. They'll want to do something like that. Nothing crazy that a guy wouldn't want to do. Almost all of them. It's the same thing when I said, if you learn one proper blowjob technique, all 10 guys are going to finish. Learn one technique, try it on 10 girls. Maybe half of one will be excited.
well,
Same type
maybe.
of shit. It's the piano.
Definitely
Goonies.
not that girl needed lube that time.
Oh man, just never-ending loop. I was just scratching my ear because it got everywhere. No, I'm just kidding. Did I even get to the end of the scam? So you go up, you after they tell you what they think the idea is.
Great line.
One of the girls say, "Oh, well, tell her that you really like her
Your
shoes.
cankles look great in those heels."
Oh, tell her I really like those heels. So you thank them, say, all right, I'm going to try, all right? And they're going to be rooting for you. You loop around, whether you get a drink or not, whatever, that's up to you. And then you go up to the girl in that group that you wanted to talk to and say, hey, I wanted to tell you something. I think your heels are very nice. Whatever it was, you use that group's suggestion on them because now they can't be upset. They can't shoot you down. It's their idea. And it would be very hypocritical to shoot down their own idea. But I wouldn't put anything past anyone. But that is a great scam. That really is.
It would be pretty messed up if they said, didn't give you the time of day and you used their line on them.
I think that's the whole point, but I wouldn't put
Or
it
they
past
may say,
them.
"Oh, that line was meant for her, honey, not me." See, immediately you were eyebrows raised. What?
The funny thing is, even going up to them and asking what they should say to someone else, that's nerve-wracking in
If
and
I
of
was those
itself.
girls, I'd say, "Go find a cuter guy." I'd love it if they just gave it right back to you.
Oh my
I'd
God.
go find a better looking guy to hit on her.
Like I just said, I wouldn't put it past it. Wouldn't put it past anyone, but it's definitely a pretty good one.
I love it.
Then they gave me something, they started me off well, and it's only a matter of time before you're going to get something that pisses you off. Now, this wasn't
taketh away.
Yes, the TikTok giveth, and they taketh away. And there is a series of videos. If you feel like, why is Andy talking trash on those girls? Why is he saying that a blowjob can finish 10 guys, but the opposite can't finish off half of one girl? Because I was hit with a series of videos. What gives you the ick videos? This is what's going on now.
Ugh.
From what I understand, it's a list being continued by multiple people. So, for example, if I make a video, if I ask a girl, what gives you the ick? And she says something like, oh, I hate it when guys wear shorts past their knees. The Adam Sandler, as my younger brother's friends call it.
There's some pretty funny
So
ones.
now, even if you wanted to make a video, mine is on your list. And now you add to it, like in the notes section of your iPhone, you're adding on to this list. So what you're seeing now, you're seeing a video of somebody asking a girl what the ick is for them. And then at the end, opens up the notes and adds to this ongoing list.
It's
now,
absurd.
on this list, the Adam Sandler long shorts below the knee would be, you'd say, okay, that's acceptable. But the things that are upsetting these girls, I mean, if you've seen some of the videos, you know how trivial some of them are. One of them, this gives a girl the ick.
What's your biggest ick?
When a guy is putting their blinker on. I just feel like that's such a feminine thing to do. Like,
And just so we're on the same page, do you have a definition of the ick handy
Oh, yeah.
to describe
a sudden sense of repulsion towards a person you were previously attracted to.
So you're into somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Then you see something. Oh, now I'm out.
Yep.
I'm
Done.
out.
See
Didn't
ya.
know, didn't know. You want something simple? Didn't know there was a massive mole on her ass. That's something that you could say, oh, well, you're a dick, but I understand.
Yeah, wouldn't give it to me.
It gets way more trivial than that.
Yeah.
One girl is now not attracted to someone because they just missed the train.
Yeah, they were running for the train.
And the
they
sight of
missed it.
somebody just missing a train, now they're out.
Yeah.
They're off the list. How dare somebody miss an actual train? It just gets worse. Anyway,
I found a good one for you. Gag worthy, she says, after eating spaghetti and they have little orange stains around their mouth. I got one for me, though, too, which is pretty funny. When they sit on one of those bar stools and their legs just dangle freely. That's why when you see me at a bar, I'll be standing.
I saw one about like when I'm with the guy in his car and the beat's about to drop on a video and he actually misses where it actually drops and then he's just awkwardly trying to re-find the point where the beat drops. That's
that miserable one I've seen being excited to see me. I mean,
excited.
Oof,
Who would ever want to see someone?
that's tough. The ick.
I saw one just like when a guy's too, well, she stopped herself and then was just like, if a guy's just too nice.
What's your biggest ick in a guy?
Like when they, no, okay.
Say it. Say
no,
it.
no,
Run it.
that was so mean. I was gonna say if they're like really nice, it's such an ick.
I guess that's a classic. That's
Do you have
that's
one?
Ick 101.
You got a big old ick?
Do I have an ick for girls?
An ick for girls, yeah. Something they can do.
Well, something that I've always hated. I mean, you don't have to look far for things that I detest, but number one, when you have 3 locations in your Instagram bio. LA, NYC, no, you're not in any of those places.
So you meet a girl out at a bar. You're like, wow, I'm going to go out on a date with this girl one day. And then you exchange Instagrams. You look at it.
All right. I'll admit it. That's
She's
not
got-
enough. That's the problem with guys.
See?
If somebody's
That's what
hot,
I'm
they could
saying.
be. They could
That's
be.
nothing. That's nothing. She could have 10 in there. I don't
You
care. Are
could
you here
find out
now?
that she
Are we
actually
going out?
murdered someone, and you'd still do it.
How'd she do it? That would be my first question.
Or whatever. She's been. You saw those girls on that Idaho jail.
Oh,
You
man.
see how many people are interested in
They
them?
scared me.
You
I
can
don't think
blow
I could.
through as many stop signs, and that's probably an ick. Guys who stop at stop signs,
Oh, yeah.
they're never ending.
Guy who wears seatbelts. I saw
Yes,
that one,
yeah,
right?
a
You
guy
saw-
who wears
guy who wears
seatbelts.
seatbelts. And you know what probably her next ick is? A guy who gets tickets.
Yes, and then also a guy's whose seatbelt thing beeps when you don't have it on. You just need. It's a whole series that revolve around the seatbelt.
Ridiculousness.
I'm telling you, 2030. Every guy despises girls. Every girl despises. The ick will just be everybody.
The ick's taking over.
However, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't kind of the way it is for a large majority of things for me. So many things give me the ick. Think about how we talked about the beach. The beach.
Yeah.
People's, when they go to vacation, they circle that.
Yeah.
That gives us the ick. So you know what? That might disqualify us for. So imagine that. Our ick is girls who like the beach.
I mean, that is like a really tough one for me.
We are
I'm
real
sorry,
pricks.
I don't, I don't mind if they like the beach, but they're not requiring me to go.
They need
Listen, you go to the
there.
beach
They
every
need- you
day.
Think
I'm
they
golfing
want to go
every
by
day.
themselves? They want to be there. They want you to be there. They want, and if you think they don't enjoy you being there even more, knowing that you don't like it, it would almost upset them if you really liked it. They don't want you to be
It
joyous.
may make
going,
them not want to go.
yeah.
Oh, big scam of the century. Be overly crazy about preparing for the beach.
This
Getting
reminds
nuts
me,
with like getting everything right, and maybe they won't want to
This
go.
reminds me of one of the most heinous scams I ever pulled. You can call this one a scam of the 2010s.
It's a scam.
That's a scam.
What a scam that
So
was.
this was all a scam, huh?
God, this one's tough to say out loud. There's a girl who I was with. I was not with her for the best reasons. I was with her because she could give me information on somebody else. And when it was time for me to withdraw, in my head, I go, if I pull away from a girl like this, when you just withdraw yourself, that's going to drive them crazy. And then they're going to go digging. And they're going to find the link between us. I go, I can't have this girl digging because if she uncovers it, my whole life is going to come crumbling.
Oh, my goodness.
I know this. Well, my
You're
life
very
would come.
deep. You're a very deep guy.
So what I did was I over pursued her and started asking her to hang out every day. She got so sick of me and then ghosted me and then wanted nothing to do with me, but then never looked me up. And she probably thought I was some desperate fool. And there's some cynic out there saying, oh, you just came up with this whole thing so you didn't look like a... No, I needed this girl not to dig on me. And I did that by proactively going hard for her because obviously showing interest in somebody sends them the other way.
Ick.
And that's what I did.
Ick.
I channeled the ick and used it against them. And no September rain. And that's where we're
That's my ick, is someone not knowing the lyrics and singing them out loud.
Don't you know you need some time?
I just realized.
All alone.
you can't wipe the smile off my face because there are 30 days of August. And we're almost through them. And we got sports right around the corner. One of the shows that I watch a lot, if you watch this podcast or any of my sports shows, what do you know about me? That once in a while I curse. I try to be real. And like I just told you about a pretty sinister thing that I just did. And I know that people crave authenticity. And it's one of the reasons I've loved supporting Pat McAfee. And by supporting, I mean not actually giving any money to whatsoever, but just publicly saying I like that show. So I guess that means support.
That's it.
But I really like what he, to me, showed. Your average person still just wants regular guys talking sports. He was in the WWE, had an unbelievable SummerSlam performance. I talked about this at the time where I said, if I'm modeling my career after somebody, it's like what McAfee's doing right now. For
Minus
those of you,
the NFL part.
oh yes, that was not going to be. That was not going to be. But McAfee was doing some stand-up comedy, and he was doing his show, talking sports. Like this was just right up my alley. Other than the fact that I couldn't be an NFL player, so he signed a massive deal with ESPN. And now his show is going to simulcast. I got to give him full marks because all the same guys are going to be there. Something that you would think is nothing, but trust me when I tell you it means everything. Like Ian Rappaport, who's one of his insiders, is still going to be his insider on his ESPN show when Adam Schefter is at ESPN. Like, do you know how
That's
that
tricky.
is? Those are two. That's Vince McMahon and Eric Bischoff. That's like Adam Silver and Roger Goodell. I was going to say Adam Sterling. I think it used to be
Donald Sterling.
Yes, and then
he's
it's
a
Adam
racist.
Silver. It's
He's
like
out.
two. You just don't have two of those at the. You have your main insider, but McAfee said, "I'm keeping everybody." But the bottom line is, this is going to be on ESPN, Disney Family.
Oh yeah.
And on that show,
Gonna have to
they
watch.
curse religiously, and it has that kind of vibe.
Do you think
Like,
they're just gonna bleep it?
I unfortunately am of the belief that they're going to water it down. And so many of the signs point to no, it's going to be the same. But ESPN made a similar I'm sorry, not a similar contract offer, but they made a deal with Barstool to have a show on their network. They canceled it after one episode because I guess the Barstool people just went wild.
Of course. Good for them.
It's clearly not acceptable. It's not acceptable to truly be balls to the wall, and they're going to have to water it down somewhat. And that all starts in like a week. So while I am
It's a
super pumped,
paycheck.
I don't want to say I'm bummed yet. I just know we're not going to get the same exact version of the show. And that's one of the reasons that you'll be enjoying my content once again because you're going to get some every fuck that you're not going to be able to hear on ESPN. You hear that? That's the sound of demonetization. So
That's it.
I'm hoping to fill those shoes, but no, I'm not kidding. I told the people at Odds Shopper that I want to once a week, if they will do it, I want to have a McAfee style show, obviously divided by 15, where I do an opening thing, talk some nonsense for a little bit, and then other personalities come in and they give me their favorite pick for the week. We'll see if it happens.
And it won't cost them $120 million.
No, it's going to cost them a lot less than that, but it's going, there's going to be a void for people who want that content.
Yep.
And, you know, I'm sure tons of people are already on that trying to fill that void. But I'm going to add my name to the mix, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes, regardless whether it works or doesn't work. Fantastic time of year with football coming back. I watched the final episode of Hard Knocks with Rodgers, and
do you like him more now?
That's
a lot
hard
of
for me
people
to
who
say.
didn't like him are liking him after this.
If I didn't like him, that wouldn't have changed, because I would have said, "Oh, he's putting on an act to make people to like him." I'm one of the few people. I'm a big Aaron Rodgers guy. I've rooted. The only thing that I differ with him on is when he started doing like the ayahuasca retreats and.
No, I don't mind that. That actually made me like him.
That's the one thing you
I
got.
couldn't
But
stand him before that.
I
thought he was unrelatable, and then I was like, wow.
I just know myself, and if they kept asking me stupid questions, I think I would have that condescending response that he had in many of those press conferences.
Yeah, I expect those guys next to him to be locked in as well. I'm not done yet. Thank you. Yeah.
But I am.
Go ahead.
I'm a fan of his. I'm rooting for them to do well. And in that last episode, I saw. Did you happen to catch it?
No,
so
I did not.
It's showing like Sauce Gardner and all these guys on the field before practice. Might have been the morning of the Giants, maybe a couple days before that last preseason game against the Giants, and they have a DJ blasting music, and then but I had another one of those moments where I'm like, I found myself siding with Bill. Is Bill Belichick letting DJs go out there in Patriots practice?
No.
Has he got to that level yet?
No way. I don't think he'll ever get to that level.
So I guess I had another one of my insidious moments where I told you a couple weeks back.
Turn down that music. We're practicing here.
What are you doing?
Casamigo got the big falling ones in the club, make a dance. Damn, she look like underpants. I mean, yeah, you know I do it.
And it's not just me. You want to know who else it is? Matt Stafford. Because his wife said on a podcast that Matthew is having trouble developing chemistry with like the younger players, because every time he wants to try to talk to them after practices, they're all just buried in their phones and no one talks to each other.
Matthew's been in the league a long time, right? We've been talking about this. He's like, the difference in the locker room has changed so significantly. He's like, I feel like I can't connect, because in the old days, you would come out of practice, shower, they're at least talking. He said now they get done with practice or get done with meetings during training camp and they go straight to their phones.
I told you this when I watched movies with my brother and his friends. They're watching TikTok and texting during movies, and then they just pretend like that was a great movie. They didn't watch 40% of it. And I'm telling you, the precipitous shift in generations. It's not like the previous years where your grandfather's not that different from your father. This last generation, Matthew Stafford can't even talk to the new receivers.
I can't believe she said it.
It's a weird thing, though.
It's a little much.
Everybody has a podcast right now, including us. So when you think about this wife, you know how
but
many
that's got to stay in-house. You know, that sounds like a came home from work argument. Not argument, but came home from work, vented, you know, all these fucking kids in the goddamn phones are driving me crazy.
But you know, one of these players' wives said, some Baker Mayfield's wife probably has a podcast. She's probably said 50 things similar to that over the last season or last year, and it never got blown up And this time around, so you never really know. And I feel like you just take it for granted. You even think about Shane Gillis, like he never knew that an unlistened to episode of a podcast was going to spring one little nugget, which eventually gets him canceled from SNL. So it's just a weird thing. But yeah, now you can bet your ass that McAfee filter is going to be on her now too.
Oh yeah. Oh, you would have to.
I always wonder how that works. Like when the NFL seems just like the scariest entity.
I mean, it's the biggest. Dude.
I've mentioned many times it's bigger than COVID. It missed 0 weeks of the NFL. 0 weeks of the NFL were mixed. I feel like when you do something like that and info gets out, like Stafford shows up to work and there's people like druids, you know, that they're wearing cloaks over their head and they have like
the press people,
a sickle. It's almost like the Grim Reaper showing up, saying like, "What have you done?"
Yeah,
you know?
The lizard people, showing up.
Yeah. Well,
Stafford, good luck, buddy.
The beautiful thing about gambling
does that make you want to draft anybody on that team, or definitely not?
Obviously, I probably am gonna fall for the Garrett Wilson hype. I think it's merited. Rodgers seems to lock onto somebody. Yeah, the random Corey Davis retirement.
But on the Rams, you're taking only Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee. They've been there, so I guess everybody else is not.
I personally think that Tyler Higbee is going to have a better year. Oh, no, he's been there so long. Every year that other people are referencing
saying this.
There have been
every year someone's saying this. You're the person this year.
I am.
You are. Okay.
Because Matthew Stafford can't talk to these young receivers. And there's only 2 people. It's almost like they're speaking different languages. He knows 2 people. But in all seriousness, every year beforehand, last year they brought in Allen Robinson. Year before that, Woods, Kupp. They've had Cooks and Beckham. They have Cooper Kupp, obviously, target hog. They do not even have a second receiver. And he's shown the tendency to lock in on Higbee for certain games. I will be the guy this year that says Tyler Higbee will be a good pick. Does it mean no, he's going to be one of those
top 5 tight end?
No, not a high ceiling, but a high floor. High floor, low ceiling. Is he going to get up to Andrews in them? No. But he doesn't cost you what Andrews in them. And if you're a week 1 better, yeah, I will take the over on Tyler Higbee receptions. But what is it? I don't even know. But if I had to set the line, it would be
4.5.
Oh, I was going to say 3.5.
Oh,
I got to get 5 catches to clear
so high on him. Jesus.
Well, they're not making it based on. Yes.
They're changing the line right now. I'm going to check.
Can you imagine? So I like Tyler Higbee over on catches. I believe their week 1 matchup is against the Seahawks.
Terrible
in
defense.
Seattle. Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, well, they will be pumping in that crowd and always calling it the 12th man, so we'll see. The Hollywood strike.
Yeah.
It's still going on.
Big time.
But I personally believe that it's kind of fake because some movies are still filming and some shows are still going on. You can't have a quasi strike. You can't have an NFL strike where Jalen Hurts and Mahomes don't play, but a couple quarterbacks do. So this is still going on, and there was an article that came out. Can you just read the headline? I think I texted you a picture of it. Dak Shepard
is feeling out of hand financial insecurity amid strikes.
Because you want to know who feels really bad about how tough things are going for Dak Shepard. All of us out there in the actual bunkers. Can you, oh man, with the financial insecurity of
the $4.3 million LA mansion that they bought.
Yeah. And then you found out that he has one of the top podcasts.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. He makes $9 million a year from that.
Yet you want to know what everyone knows him for? No, not Punked. No, not anything like that. No, not Idiocracy. He's known for openly hosting swingers parties with his wife, Kristen Bell.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
How do I know that? Because any sort
You
of
were there?
article
What'd you do?
that comes out about him, including this one about how he has PTSD from the younger years of when he didn't have money just because there's
Yeah.
a strike, even though he has millions right now. What do the commenters say? Who cares? This guy is, why don't you just throw one of your swinger orgies?
Wild swinger
There
orgies?
are certain things that just become the thing about you.
Wow.
It doesn't matter. Whatever the articles are, it doesn't matter. It's
Guy
just-
makes a new movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy watching that at your next swingers party, pal. It'll be a good hit.
That's all, the defining characteristic. Just
Wow.
you just are that always.
He is the swinger. I didn't know they were swingers like that. That's pretty cool.
Unless I made that up. It seemed like all those articles are just being spammed with
Swinger comments.
I believe him and
I mean, they're a good-looking couple.
I'm not a swingers guy, man. Like just
Not a swinger. Haven't been swinging
if you
lately.
if you're not going to have kids, I can say, all right. I just don't like the fact that one day when your kid's 32 and he's a full grown man, if he comes to, if he hears a rumor about that, especially in the online days where everything sticks around, and if he asks you and you're telling the truth, you have to say, yes, son, we did have swingers party. I think that will mess with the kids inside.
I don't know about that. I'm sure he's going to be weird anyways because they're doing,
He's absolutely going to be weird. Yes.
Hollywood. Weird out there.
Well, let's say this wasn't a Hollywood.
Okay.
Let's say it's not Dak Shepard and it's just some guy.
In a small town.
Yeah. Guy in a small town out in Louisiana.
Parents fucking everybody.
Yeah. I don't know.
I thought about that today. Like I saw a video of a she's a smoking hot mom. And she films herself waiting online at school with like barely anything on. That kid, I'd be pissed if my mom dressed like that back,
Can you imagine the dad? No, I'll get the kids today.
Yeah.
You know what, folks? We're going to end this. I know you've been getting our podcast lately. But today, what are we? We cut it short in the 40s. That's not really that short. Thank you guys for coming back. We will be back next week, week 1. I'm going to try to get this to you a little bit earlier. I got to do this earlier because we got games later. So I'm going to try to get these out on
football
on Wednesdays or something. I'm going to try to
Are
record
you
them
ready?
Tuesday, get them out on Wednesdays. Always happy to have you back. If you came here I did an Islanders podcast earlier, and if you're checking it out, hopefully you enjoyed it. This is Elvira's Corner. All right.
No Elvira.
Subscribe here to the YouTube channel or on whatever podcast platform you listen on. Me and Mr. Nick Papagiorgio will be back with you next week. Enjoy the end of August, because what's around the corner? It's that September rain.
Cold September rain.
All right, everyone. Ciao.